Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Susan Foster. I am an associate professor at the Chicago School, and assessment is one of my areas of specialty. And with me today, I have Kelly. Kelly, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I think I know everybody pretty much, but I'm Kelly Mirasicki. I'm a third year student in the online program for clinical mental health counseling. And Dr. Foster and I have had several classes together. She's asked me to be here today and discuss advanced assessment.
So in our conversations, our meandering conversations, Kelly, one of the things that we've talked about is just the importance of assessment in general, that it is an entire stage of counseling that really helps us know our client better and really plan our course of action with the client. And so in the advanced assessment class, one of the things we talked about previous was the access to the application piece. And so with you being in field work, how important do you think that will be for you to get more of a foundation of how assessment applies?
I think it's going to be very important to have that application and field work because I think everybody the reputation of the assessment course, the first assessment course, is a little daunting for students in the program. I also think that the timing of when people take that course, with it starting right around field work, people are a little confused about how that's going to relate to their fieldwork practice when it is such a different subject than a lot of the theory related classes and development related classes. So it's going to be really important to have a little bit extra, more comprehensive understanding of assessment as we can apply it to fieldwork, because we will be doing that, practicing assessment every time we meet with our clients, essentially. So I know personally, I do a lot of assessment to get direct hours at my site. They have a waiting list. So the first thing that you do is an intake. So for me personally, it's going to be very important because that's what I'll be doing to collect my hours. But for everybody else, a better understanding of why we have that class as part of the curriculum, I think is super important, and people would be curious to know.
Well, and I think that you brought up something really important, and that's that it's not just that first step in when a counselor and when a client comes in to see you that you do a thorough assessment, but assessment happens from point A to point Z and every step in between. That the entire time you're working with clients, there's this continual process of assessment. And in the advanced assessment class, you will actually get to feel what that feels like in terms of working with clients. You will actually have a multimedia case, and you will take it from the very beginning, those biopsychosocial assessments and those other intake assessments, and you will see it all the way through until the end of counseling with that simulated multimedia client. And so it may feel a lot like what it is that you already do with clients in terms of assessment. I appreciate you coming and talking about assessment with me. Again, I would agree with you that it's super important. It's not the piece that we can leave on the shelf, right? We have to have assessment to be able to do a good job with our clients. And I think that, much like you said, the basic assessment class that everyone takes, sometimes it's hard to imagine how that will all fit. And this is kind of like the lock to the key, so to speak. We'll be able to see how it fits, how it applies, and you will be able to reflect on the process in the end.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it will be really beneficial for students also to kind of, like I said, the assessment course, I think a couple of the keywords that ring in students' ears are statistics and Khan Academy. And I know personally, especially as a creative person who doesn't really function well in those two areas, I would rather have the application piece anyway. So I do feel like advanced assessment's kind of a second opportunity to look at assessment differently. So while that course is a requirement for the state of Ohio in regards to this program, I'm kind of relieved that I have the second chance to have a better relationship with assessment as it was presented in the program.
Well, and yes, I think that we spend a fair amount of time with both the qualitative and quantitative pieces in that first class. And like you said, in this class, it's really how that all comes together. And so if that's not necessarily the way you think and process, you may walk away from that first opportunity wondering, how is this really going to fit? And so to be able to have the opportunity to see it all come together. So I'm excited that you're excited about it. And I hope that everyone else is excited as we are, because again, we have these constant conversations about it, but I'm looking forward to it. Kelly, you're actually going to be in the class this time. So you'll get to experience it with whoever else comes along. So thank you for coming in and talking with me some about assessment today, Kelly. And we hope to see you guys soon.
Thanks so much.